All right. Hey, it's lycheepunnet again. Welcome back. If you just came back, or welcome if you just want to see red and blue, which you might. Who knows? So this is for the two love reset. Now that we've gotten past yellow and green, we've basically stopped talking about the transformation housework deck, which was the meta deck, or it is the meta deck.
At
And
time of
we've moved
recording,
on.
it will be your new Satan.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. And we've moved on to the alien girls archetype, which ironically, like I don't quite understand. Are their tails supposed to like imply Satanism or
I'm I'm
like
sure.
her name has Satan in it?
And Devil Luke, yeah. I'm fairly
Yeah.
certain it is.
So it's a bit ironic that the implied theme of Satan goes to the deck that is most definitely not the Satan deck of the set.
No, it's not quite the devil like the other one is.
So we are, of course, talking about Pink Hair dot deck, the Devluke Sisters deck, which is the other obvious archetype to come out of this set. They work quite well with each other and with a few other cards, and we'll get to them.
First
All
up
right,
is the Double
is
R Lala.
who's this character again?
Lala.
Who's Lala?
Oh, apparent oldest sister.
Oh, right, this is the girl who was like the main heroine once, and now she doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's actually very amusing.
Yeah. So
um,
I know who it is, but I'm just going to keep feigning ignorance because she's worst girl.
yeah,
Anyone who wants to fight me over that is welcome to try. It's a
you
zero
have to
zero
go to
two
the
k
moon first.
Yeah, come at me. It's a 002K. If you've got one or few other characters, it gains 1/5. And then
Wonderful.
resonance, reveal a level
Vanilla healer.
three level 3 vanilla healing Lala in your hand. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, you may use this as a runner.
So it's a free runner,
This
practically
is
conditionalist, and it's 3/5.
This card by itself is so good, it actually makes the level 3 vanilla healer worth playing at 4, despite the fact that card sucks.
Yeah, this card is actually just pure insanity.
Yeah, like basically you have a 3/5 that you can run in front of any of your opponent's non-beta characters.
And kill it. And force them to
Yeah,
side. Or force them to side. They're probably going to side. It's level 0. But,
yeah. And if you have like a support, because you can have one other character, then this goes to 4K pretty easily. And there is a global support that this works with.
yep.
So
So,
it's just a really good turn one play down. It does require you to have level 3 Lala, but like we talked about with the army, you can just mulligan very aggressively to get it, and you'll be fine.
yep.
Especially because you can just drop cards in this deck and you can get them back with the brainstorm, which is what we're going to talk about next.
So, it's a brainstorm. Its
Yep.
literal only effect is pay 1, rest 2 for every hit. Salvage a character.
Yep. So any character, that's any trait, no trait restrictions. I think this is a really good card because it just works with everything. It salvages your off-trait characters in the animal plant deck, which you will definitely have to run, and it salvages your aliens, your science, your
Your everything.
everything. I don't think it's worth running a transformation deck because if you lose all your resources to the graveyard, then whatever. That was the risk you took playing. But it is worth running in basically every other deck.
Yep. None of the other decks are quite as trait restrictive as the
Mm.
transformation deck is. Not to say Alien isn't. Alien does have a couple of very relevant trait cards where
Yeah.
it'll be very sad if you miss.
It's
So
notable that this set, that red doesn't really have a good spammable brainstormer, but that
there's
doesn't
actually
really
no
matter.
spammable brainstormer I can recall.
There's one in the TD, but it's for yellow,
Yeah.
and it's a Mikan.
Oh, is it a plus power brainstormer?
I think so.
It might be plus salted this.
I
Regardless, you're
think it's
probably
plus
not.
power.
You're probably
I
not
don't think
running
it's
it.
very good. Yeah. So this card is just solid. You run a couple in animal dot deck. You run a couple in aliens dot deck.
You know, this would be an issue if you didn't have enough ways of milling yourself regardless.
Oh well. Oh, I'm not sure we're going to have an issue on that front. We'll get to that in a bit. So we've got a level 3. I told you it was Momo. It's a level 3 Momo alien plant trait. If you've got 3 or more other alien or plant traits, this gains 1K, so it's basically an 11K. When it comes to counter stage, reveal the top card. If it's alien or plant, which is basically going to be everything in your deck, deal 1 damage. Revealing a climax or event is bad, but otherwise it says deal 1 damage.
Yep.
And the other ability is a climax combo. So drop a card from hand when the CR gate is placed to the climax zone. If this is in your front row, you can pay cost. If you do, choose a presumably level 3 character from your waiting room. with either alien or plant trait and put it on any slot in the stage. Then that character gains 2k.
Yeah, so this is mostly going to be used to pull out the other level 3 sister that isn't the vanilla healer
Yeah, it's Nana.
to get more damage.
Yeah, it's basically written here. Choose a sitting Nana in your waiting room and put it on the stage. That character gets 2k and gets to ping your opponent. That's basically what it says, because these two cards are so obviously designed to work with each other.
Yep. So it's actually a very solid combo. This is going to be like the big cornerstone of your level 3 game in the alien deck.
Yes, even though you're running 4 Lala, you're going to be using this more than that. Bit sad, really. But this card is quite serviceable. I wouldn't go so far as to call it amazing because of the high standards I have, but it is definitely a good card and can, with the Climax combo, can definitely amount to more than more than 1 damage printed on the card.
Yep. Next up is
Yep.
the 0/0.
Okay, so it's a lewd Momo, Charming Pajamas. When placed from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your library. If it's alien or plant trait, add it to hand, discard a card. So it's a filter. And then it's also a field counter for 1k power. When another alien character when another alien or plant character is front attacked, you may pay cost. If you do, choose a character in battle. That character gets 1k.
It's a pretty good card in Alien.
Yeah,
Again, your graveyard is a giant resource for this deck. And field counters are actually just like super obnoxious, and sometimes people will just like it'll pass through their mind, they'll miss it or something. It's one of
Hopefully
the
yeah.
it's one of the
Hopefully
very
they don't rely on
missable
that.
effects. But even if they don't miss it, you can use this effect and still use a real counter from your hand to
Yeah.
get extra power.
And this card was almost definitely going to die anyway because it's a 1/5. So you're not losing out on anything really.
Yeah,
Pretty solid.
pretty solid card.
Yeah. Next card
Sitting
is
Momo.
Sitting Momo. So it's level 1 bomb first and foremost. It's only 2/5 power because power matters for bombs, and it's a fair way to balance out what would otherwise be a vanilla bomb, subtracting power. I'm being incredibly sarcastic, as you might have figured out.
Second effect.
When it comes from hand to stage, pay 1, drop 1. If you do, choose a level 1 or lower, so cost is not taken into account. Level 1 or lower character with either alien or plant trait, and put it on any slot on the stage. So the card that you pull out will most commonly be a 1/7k Nana.
Or the 1/1 level support.
Yes. Or, well, whichever one you're missing, because
Yeah.
those two cards also combo with each other. You can also pull out your 1/0s if you're running the pseudo resonance plus in combo, or you can pull out I don't know what else you'd want to pull out.
That's basically it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it says plant trait rather than animal trait, so it's very restricted. In fact, plant trait is extremely restricted. The only cards in the set with it are Momos and a blue 0/1 card that is never meant to be on the
Celine.
field anyway. Celine, yeah.
This was
There's
probably
no,
meant for Rito to be printed at some
yeah,
point, and he
but
never
there's no
did.
Ritos. Yeah, so await your extra booster with bonus Ritos or something.
Don't
I
worry, you'll
guess.
get female Rito too, because they can't just skimp on the
I'm
fan service.
yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't print one of those actually. Honestly speaking. But yeah, so this card is a level 1 bomb first and foremost, but
Good
it
card.
also pulls out a 1/1 that you want.
Also
We'll
good
talk
effect.
about why, yeah, this is a little bit of non-synergy with the 1/1s that you want to pull out, but we'll get to that later.
Alrighty. Next
So
up,
Trusting Gaze, Akatsuki, 1045. Come to play, drop a card, look at top 4, choose 1 alien or science, add to hand, drop the rest.
alright. So the card is less good than Akatsuki in the sense that it's a level 1, and then you realize the card effect is still very dumb, and you'll probably still run 4 of it.
This is not like the Ricky effect. This ability does not get worse when you hit level 1. In fact, it probably gets better. Because it's just
Filtering-
really strong.
Filtering is really good. Unlike Akatsuki, this deck can salvage. So it's actually closer to IMAS.
Yeah, so an IMAS Azusa is doubly good because you have a 1/0 discard 1 salvager as well as a producer brainstorm and other stuff. And you also run gates.
And Haruka.
Yeah, and in this card, in this deck, I want, of course. In this deck, you run a plussing brainstorm as well as gates often, or a salvaging climax combo. So this sets up for that as well. And as we mentioned with the in the yellow review, there is a Kyoko that you can use to bounce this back if you want to repeat this for some stock cost and be a real jackass. I can sense someone doing it at some point soon. Me just kind of face palming and thinking, oh, why is this so unfair?
But yeah, this effect is not very fair at all. We have a lot. Every video, in fact, that has this effect has a
Yeah.
serious portion of time devoted to talking about how dumb this effect is.
If you think this effect is fair, then you obviously don't understand the game very well.
You
It's just
probably you probably think the Yami is fair too. The 3/2
yeah,
Yami
this
fair
it's not a
card.
fair effect. And like this card's a 1/0 and it has got a power increase to boot. Like Akatsuki never killed anything. It was a 2K. Whereas this card's 4/5. You can actually kill some stuff occasionally,
You can kill level
especially if you
zero.
run a yeah, there's a specific card which gives a global 2K pump to your field, and that would make this a 6/5, which is actually kind of formidable.
Acceptable.
Yeah, it's acceptable for a card with such obvious utility otherwise.
Yep. You probably run four. Like that's not really negotiable. You just run it
Uh,
because why not? You
I
could
read
run
about
three if you
this.
think it's too awkward running four of this card at level one.
I think I ran three because I was my initial list has like every level 1 card that's even remotely viable. So,
There's a lot of
um,
those in this. And that's really like one of the most like crucial parts about this deck is that there are a lot of good level one cards, and you just got to
mhm,
figure out which ones you think are the best.
pretty much. In fact, I might bump it up to four. It seems like it's the only card at level 1 good enough to play four of. Next card. This is what we were talking about when we were saying Momo pulls things out from the graveyard. A 1/1/5/5 Nana, kind warmth. If you've got three or more other characters with alien or animal, this gains 1K and 1/5 power, and it's got hand encore. So the main issue with this card is if you pull it out with the bomb and then use the bomb to kill something, the bomb is now dead, and
So
that's
you
one
need
less
to
character
have
on your field.
one more character on the field.
Yeah, so you absolutely need full back row, and you need another row with a character in it.
It also
So
gets
while
awkward with the field counter because that's another slot you lose.
exactly, so this card, if you have two or more other characters, it would be quite good because you just need a full back row. But as it stands, it's very demanding, and while I think it is a decent card if you play around the restrictions properly, the fact it has those restrictions at all is kind of bad.
Yep.
I still think it's good though. Like
It's
as a
still very
card,
playable.
it's
Like
like usually going to be 7/5 or 8/5 if you have
the 1/1 back row.
the 1/1 yeah the 1/1 support. But you can't always count on that, and a lot of the time you will just want to bomb something. So yeah, use this card
Sparingly
with
is the way I'd put it.
I guess so. I wouldn't run more than like two in the deck.
Yep. Next
All
up
right.
is that vanilla healer. That's
Yep.
basically all
So
she does.
she's basically a 3/2 10K that heals when it comes from hand to stage for 1 turn. If that card that you reveal is alien or science, this gets 2K. So it's 12K for 1 turn, which is better than vanilla, but still extraordinarily underwhelming.
Basically a vanilla healer.
For a card that you're encouraged to run four of, or at least three of, it's just not very impressive because you need it in your opening hand to turn on your incredibly powerful runner. It's just
Yep.
a bit sad. All right,
Next
three
up,
two, sitting Lala. Oh no,
Nana.
sitting Nana. Sorry. If True Friend Nana is in your clock, this gets a -1 level in your hand. So that card is a 0/0 4K that we'll come to in a bit. It's okay. Like I wouldn't call it amazing. In fact, I would call it the opposite of that if I were to speak objectively. But it also has the ability during your turn when it kills something, pay cost. If so, deal 1 damage. The cost is 1 stock.
Yep. Good card.
Pretty solid. It's pretty damn solid. Like it's undercosted. That ability is undercosted.
Yeah, it really is. And it's also like not quote unquote cheatable, but you can grab it from your salvage using the Momo combo that we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier.
Or you can advance summon it to get some, I guess, value early. But I don't know if I'd want to do that.
You don't need to. That's absolutely
No,
the case.
definitely not necessary. All right, so we've got another Lala. It's friendly three sisters. So there's a little, I guess, mini archetype here. It double bonds to two other cards. Double bonds are usually really exciting. Like the one in Monogatari is pretty good because you +2.
This one is
But
not.
yeah, this one is two ditch bonds, so it's a hand filter more than anything, and it's on a 1K body that does nothing else. So it's actually not a very good filter because all you do is swing to open and be a meat shield. It doesn't do anything outside of that. Like it doesn't even buff the cards it bonds to or anything. But
It's very dull.
by today's standards, that's just not worth it. I don't think it's a good enough card to like. Okay, sure. If you're running the climax, not the climax, the resonance combo with both those cards, then sure, this sets that up pretty well. But honestly speaking, I don't see this card being particularly good.
Nope.
I'm running the resonance 1/0s without this bond, for the record.
And it'll probably work out fine. Like this
Yeah.
deck does so much filtering as it is, and so much
hmm
salvaging as it is. This is not like an effect that you need.
Yep. So next card, Tiny Support Momo. It's a Climax combo.
Very cheeky card.
Yeah, the Climax is even cheekier. When Secret Garden is placed to your Climax zone, that's the stock soul. If this is in the front row, you can pay the cost, which is clock yourself once. Choose up, look at two cards from the top of your library, choose up to two cost 0 or lower characters, and put them on separate slots in the stage, and discard the rest. So worst case scenario, you hit nothing, and
Punch yourself.
you just punched yourself, and you probably didn't get very much value out of your stock soul.
Best case,
Best case scenario, you have a full front row, and then you pull two back row supports onto the field, or any two back row at all
you
that you
hit
could
two
speed with
1/0s that you actually care about.
Yeah, that's definitely that might actually be the best case scenario, but you can't plan for that. So if I were to play this combo, it's like the Persona Q protagonist combo. If I play that, I make sure I have at least two characters in the front row, so I can get at least a bit more value out of the global soul pump.
Yep.
Same with this. Like I don't see this card being very reliable. You can play it in your Momo waifu decks because Momo is pretty high quality. But other than that, I'm not so sure this card is that good.
No, it's just very cheeky.
Yeah,
That's all there is really about it. Very
let's go
cheeky.
with that. Yep. So next card is the 4K I alluded to, True Friend Nana. When this is placed from hand to stage, check the top card of your library. If it's a level 0 or lower character, put this 4K in stock. So this effect is usually pretty good on the 3/5s that go to stock if you reveal a Climax, because it happened infrequently enough that you didn't mind, and even if you revealed a Climax, it's not the end of the world. Likewise here, it's not the end of the world if you reveal a level lower,
It'll just
0 or
happen
lower
approximately
character.
twice as frequently.
Yeah, it will happen almost exactly twice as frequently because most people play about 16 level zeros. I'm playing 15 level zeros in my aliens build. I might actually trim that. But this card is okay. When it fails, you'll remember, but when it doesn't fail, you'll be like, oh well, whatever. It's notable that revealing climaxes
Yeah, because it's not a
doesn't
character.
cause this to go to stock, but that means you're probably going to be triggering a climax, so
You
that's not good.
can use this as well to top check for your 3/2 Momo though, which is very relevant.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And also for just if you want to brainstorm, you might reveal a climax, or if you want to get a value out of the 0/0 filter Momo.
Or if you want to use Akatsuki and there's something on top of your deck you want. Like, there's a lot of ways that just looking at the top card is super good.
And sometimes getting extra stock is not bad either. So I think this card is it's going to be very situational. You're going to want different outcomes based on different situations, but you're really going to remember the times it just failed you terribly. And yeah,
Yep.
I'm running a bunch because I'm playing the advanced summon, but
I am
no
also running a
pressure.
bunch because I'm playing the advanced summon. So next up is that resonance combo that we were talking about earlier. This is
Yep. So
one part of it.
the first one is the Momo 1045 Resonance Reveal Level 3 Lala at the start of your climax phase. If this is in the front row, you can use the Resonance ability. If you do, all your other characters, so not this one, get 2k. So the main incentive to do this is with the next card, which is Friendly Three Sisters Nana. 1045 Resonance, pay 1, reveal a sitting Lala in your hand. When the battle opponent of this is reversed, so you want the 2k boost because 4/5 is not going to kill anything but level zeros. You can pay cost, so pay 1, reveal to level 3. If you do, salvage 1.
So this is nice in that it's a plus in combo without using climaxes. You'll probably just use climax anyways to get the extra power and soul pump through.
Well, the Resonance is kind of like a climax combo because you have to have it in your hand, just like the
Yep.
climax.
But it doesn't minus quite like climax
Yeah, and you
does.
also don't have to prioritize getting rid of them like climaxes do, so you can
So
use this well into the mid game and not feel bad about it.
the downside is that it's costed.
Yeah, well, one cost to salvage is fine. Like it's conditionless aside from needing level 3. It's got ways to pump itself, and you can choose any character you want. Although I guess that's less relevant because you need the Lala to begin with, which means you're playing aliens dot deck.
Yep.
It's serviceable, but I'm not actually playing this. I'm only playing the Momo because I want to give power to all my other
The
characters.
level 2k power pump is super good.
I think it's
actually.
pretty good. It's not global because she doesn't get power.
Oh, she doesn't get it, and she needs to be in front row. So depending on the situation, you're conceding that lane.
Yeah, like I'm not running the Nana. I'm running the TD Nana instead because that seems better. All
Yep.
right, next card, Furi Pencil, Lala, 1/1 4K that gives level assist to all alien and science traits in front. Most notably the 1/1
1/1.
Nana, which is a level 2. And the other ability, discard a card from hand. When Charming Pose is placed in your climax zone, you may pay cost. If you do, pump 2 of your alien or science characters by 3k.
Yep.
That's a thing, I guess, but I can't see myself running Charming Pose. I
I
think
don't.
it's a 2k one.
It's a
Is it
2K
2k
one.
one soul?
It's a 2K one.
All right. So I can't see myself really running this because you've got one better climaxes to play and no, sorry, I'll rephrase that. I can't see myself running the climax combo. I can see myself running like maybe one of this as a support because it's a stock out, it's a good target for the level 0, for the level 1 bomb, and it does synergize pretty well with the 1/1 Nana. And it's also a level support, so that's a thing. It's good
Yep.
with the advanced summon Nana. But I don't think the second bit of text is very relevant.
I completely agree. I think the fact that it's level 1 level support is what makes it at all relevant as a card, because that means
Hmm,
it's grabbable by your bomb.
pretty much. That's basically the reason you play this. All right, next card is the 2/1 counter I talked about very early in this
Very amusing
cast.
card.
So it's a backup 2/5, which usually means you have a secondary effect tacked on. And it does. You can
Ditch
use
2.
ditch 2 cards for an anti-change effect.
Holy Jesus, it's expensive.
It is quite expensive. This aliens deck probably keeps hand a little better than the
Transformation.
Transformation Housework deck, but that doesn't mean you can go around spamming this card.
No,
Play one at most.
you won't be able to really spam it.
Like honestly, in Animals deck, I'm considering running the PR Haruna because that's just a vanilla counter in trait, as opposed to this.
Ugh.
Honestly speaking,
The next card is actually good, though. I actually like
yeah.
this next card.
Friend from Planet Tentacle. It's a Nana. It's a 2/1/7/5. This ability activates up to twice a turn when your other character with either alien or animal is placed from hand to stage gets 1k. So it's often a 9/5 if you've played 2 characters. When True Friend, which is another gate, is placed in the climax zone, if this is in the front row, you get to salvage 1, and
And then
this
it
gains
pumps.
1k for the turn. So note that this happens during climax phase before anything attack. At climax phase, sorry, which means it dodges anti-salvage. Well, it dodges the battle phase anti-salvage that Hatsukaze, Kyosuke, and me can't have.
Yeah, so it does the more punishing versions of anti-salvage, generally speaking.
Yeah, so this card is quite solid. I think it's good if you want to run 8 gates. I want to stray away from 8 gates because that kind of ruins the point of trying to dodge anti-salvage and run the stock soul one, which is on a 1/0, which, as I mentioned earlier, this deck has an Akatsuki or Azusa clone, which means you can probably use a level 1 climax combo to better effect than a level 2 one.
Yep.
Plus, that also
All
reduces the chance that you have to refresh with that climax outside your bin.
all relevant points. Card is good. Only trade-off is they actually cost the same because you got to pay 2/1 for this, or the other one you pay 1 on the
Yes,
climax.
that is true. Yeah, that is true.
So they're actually costed the same for the
Approximately the same, assuming both cards die the next turn.
exactly.
So next card
Next up,
is Bond of Trust Lala 2/8K.
freaking amusing
Yeah,
as hell.
this is a pretty interesting card. It's a resonance ability with the level 3 Lala. When this dies, if the level of the battle opponent is higher than the level of the opponent, so anti-change, you may pay the cost, so resonate. If you do, reverse that character. This is a lot better than the stupid the cleaners that they encourage you to run to kill advanced summons. AKA the 2/1s when the battle opponent or the opposing character's level 3 get lots of power. I think this is better because it's less conditional, and even though you do open up a row, it's a lot more guaranteed because sometimes the advanced summons are massive and you just can't get over them.
Yeah, that's what makes this nice. It does get over it, and because your anti-change counter is so expensive, this is probably a better alternative to kill those early plays.
Absolutely. Like, aside from the fact that that is obviously a counter, I think this card is pretty decent. But the fact that that card is a counter can't be overlooked. Like, even this card sometimes is just a 218K, which is playable, maybe, not
Not
necessarily.
really, but
No, but that one's a counter, so you can't go wrong with that. This one's
yeah.
just a character. So, all in all, I think this ability is more efficient than the counter, but the counter has the other bonus of being a counter. So, I think that card wins.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So next card is a incredibly pivotal common, surprisingly proactive Nana. All your other alien or animal characters gain 500 power. That's literally it.
Yep.
So this is incredibly important in the animal deck because it's like the only global animal support, and it's really good in the aliens deck because you might not want to have the 1/1. Uh,
Level
what's her name
support.
again? I actually forgot. It's Lala. Oh wow. That, I actually forgot. I'm not even kidding this time. Yeah, it pumps everything, whereas that Lala only pumps in front and it costs one.
Yep.
So when you don't need that, this card's just better. I'd run three or four in both decks.
Following that is vanilla.
Vanilla, okay.
Following that is a fairly oversized card that, when it's reversed, it gets bottom decked.
That's eh. That's bad because you're not deck thinning, you're adding to your deck. But it's fine because otherwise it's pretty conditionless. I wouldn't run this. You have better oversized to run.
Following that is a 1/0 changer, keeping on with the trend of very strange change costs.
This one's actually not bad because the payoff you get is at an appropriate time, and it's a pretty big card. So the 105K is change, same cost. Discard two character cards with alien or plant, and put this to your waiting room. At the start of your climax phase, you may pay that cost. If you do, choose a Doki Doki Bath Time, Doki Doki Bath Time Momo, and put it in the slot this was in. So that card, which we'll come to very, very shortly, the card in between is a vanilla. Let's just jump to that card. The next card's a level 1 Nana vanilla, and then the card after that is the Momo. So it's 217K. For each of your other characters with alien or plant, this gains 500 power, and it's got clock encore. So you've basically got a 9K clock encore.
Yep. With the back row, it's also 10k,
Yes, yes.
so it's actually quite large.
It's playable. They've got a similar combo in the Rin Archer meta deck, and that's serviceable. Near the climax, also negged you hand. This is very similar.
Yep.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's bad. I think it's objectively better than the next card we're about to come into,
Which is a 2/1 vanilla.
of the same traits and on the same character.
Following that is a
A
fairly
pretty
good
good
event.
event. Yeah, it's a 1/1 event. Choose up to two aliens in your waiting room and add them to your hand, and then put this in your clock. So
Yep.
it is a one cost clock 1+1, except instead of getting a mediocre character like a Ricky or an Akane, you get two alien characters from your waiting room, which is pretty strong.
Yep.
So you
Good
can
card.
choose to you can get your advanced summon, you can get your level 3 Momo, you can get your bomb, you can get a Akatsuki if you want to be a real. Oh god, you can get a Akatsuki with this. I did not even realize. That's really disgusting.
Yep. So, following this is blue.
Yeah, a
That's
bunch of
it for
climaxes
red.
then too. So, alright, the first card, let's jump in. Haruna Sairenji,
I forgot this card even existed.
the Brainstorm, Token Shrinking Violet, 00500, animal trait, and sports as well, not that that's relevant. During your opponent's turn, everything else gets 500 power, not bad. And Brainstorm, one cost tap, flip over the top four cards of your library. For every climax, draw a card, or draw up to one card.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I don't really think I'd run it over the Nana because I like Selective Advantage a lot more than extra 500 power. Not to mention you can have that Nana in the front row and have two supports anyway.
Yep.
You could run both. Like blue does need some fixing. It's not got a very wide variety of cards.
Yep.
All right. So next card, Celine, the little plant girl. She's a 0/1. Yeah, you heard that right. 0/1 3K. If this is on top of your clock at the start of your climax phase, put up to one card from the top of your library in stock and rest two standing characters. This is okay in the animal plant deck simply because in accordance with the marker UE or marker Asana paradigm, you want to hit level 1 first. So this kind of facilitates that, gets you some stock. You don't know what that stock is, which sucks, but you're not doing any damage to your opponent, so you'll hit level 1 first almost certainly, at which point you can go off with your UE and have a 7k on their turn, possibly more if you use the Kuroneko mode event. But it's very reliant on being in your opening hand, and you definitely don't want to draw them later because... Oh wait, no. No, drawing them later is fine as well because all you do is you don't have any other restrictions. Oh wow, this card's a lot better than I thought it was. You can just clock it at some point.
Yeah, you just clock it and then
You get extra stock and then tap two characters that weren't tapped.
Yep.
So this card is a lot better than I thought it was. Forgive me. It's good in your opening hand. It's good in the mid game. When you stop clocking around the mid late game, it's less good for obvious reasons. But somehow you might mise into it as your top damage and get some extra stock. I don't think the extra stock is super important, especially because it's blind stock that is the bottommost part of your stock, especially in a set without a good spammable brainstormer. But it's definitely worth thinking about.
Yep, it's pretty solid. It's just like not something that you'll probably run because it pushes you into kind of a funny color.
Yeah, the problem with this card is that you have to decide whether or not you want the blind stock before you do any top checking. So you have a 004K Nana that top checks. And you can top check, sure, but you've already clocked Celine by that point. So if it was a Climax, then you couldn't possibly have known and you wouldn't have necessarily wanted that to happen.
Yep.
But I guess at least with the top check, you know exactly what you're putting to stock, so you can figure out whether you want to pay it out or not, or just, yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think I'm going to try out this card after thinking about it some more, because it does seem alright. But, yeah,
I think these alarm effects are just super amusing, like always. So.
alarm effects are just, they're pretty good.
So next up is like
This is the animal deck's other advanced summon, the
Yep.
one that I'm strongly like. I'll play this in animal deck, whereas the Nana advanced summon goes in aliens deck because this is a better advanced summon in my opinion. It does more.
yes.
So it advanced summons when you have two or fewer climaxes in your waiting room. So after you refresh, basically, and when this is placed from hand to stage, you may heal. When another animal plant trait attacks, it gains 1k power for the turn. So this card will most commonly be a 10-5 heal at level 2. We'll come to why that is later, but basically you get to combo this with a free refresh and then have a 10-5 fatty sitting on the field ready to beat down at 12-5.
Yeah, that's basically all it does.
It's fine, like it's field presence, it's a heal, and if you like Haruna, then sure, it's her. The next card, it's a pivotal card to combo with the one we just mentioned, Naked Apron Haruna. The character opposite this gains Encore, Hand Encore, and it's a 3-5 at level 0. Like, nothing much to say, it's the piece you need for your free refresh.
Yeah, that's basically all there is to it. The one thing about it is, yeah, it's for the free refresh. That's the only reason why it's there.
Yep. Next card, Mio Sawada. This one is 105k. When it comes to stage, it gets plus X power for the turn, where X equals 500 times the number of characters with either animal or... it's either animal or trouble. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I can read Chinese, so it says fun now, which means irritations or trouble. And that's obviously what the trait is supposed to be pointing towards, not worries. Fuck. You're off your game, Heart of the Cards.
Are they ever on their game?
Oh, sometimes they fix things. It's rare, but they do. So what this card does is it comes in, it's hopefully 7-5 and punches something. And it's bondable by clock bondable by a Haruna, which we'll come to later. She's actually in trait, unlike the next card we're about to talk about. But I still think you have much better options in Animal Dot deck.
Yeah. Especially because you still have the 1-0 marker Asana.
Yep. So next card, Risa Miyako. It's a 217k. Gives 1k to all of your other level 3 Haruna, which is cool, I guess. And when this is placed from hand to stage, you discard a 3-5 Haruna from your hand, so Naked Apron Haruna. And if you do, refresh without taking damage.
Yep. Command refresh.
Yep.
This is
Not it's
how.
not command refresh because you have to play
Oh,
it,
it's on.
and
It's an auto effect. That's right.
it's on play. Yeah.
So this is like actually the reason why this particular deck, the animal deck, doesn't take damage from all the milling that they do.
Pretty much, like you run blue because of this, not because of the level 3 Haruna. You run blue because of this, and then you run green for the milling, and you run red for the salvage and the finishes.
Yep.
It's a tricolor deck basically. So this card should be fairly easy to put together because you have a salvaging brainstorm, and you have
Gates.
the 1/0 that lets you filter through your deck and get cards. You can't actually get this card with the 1/0 filter because it's only trouble trait. It doesn't have anything else. But if you just prioritize this when you're getting close to refresh, or if you just brainstorm near the end, and that happens to put you into free fresh. Well, no, this doesn't have a free fresh range requirement. You can be at any number of cards at any time, not five or less. You can just get this at any point before you refresh and then just do it.
Yep. It's
You
very
should.
straightforward.
It's also notable that this is quite possibly a front row beta. It's not necessarily a back row card, even though it gives level 3 Haruna support. It's also unsupported by any other trait, but it's good enough to play, absolutely. Alright, nearly
Yep.
done. 0/0 500 power Haruna. It's a top check, which is good. And like you can use this in conjunction with the Celine, I guess, to check the top card. If you don't want to stock that, then don't. And it clock bonds to the 1/0 Mio we talked about, which is the come and play gain lots of power. I don't think that little synergy with Celine is enough to merit running this in anything but like a budget trolley build, but
Yeah.
it's something.
I think the synergy is very amusing. At least you know what you
When you're
clock to an
stocking.
extent, or stock to an extent. Yeah.
Or you can get rid of a climax if you don't want to stock that, and
Yeah.
then it's a mystery. Ooh.
It also bonds to the earlier Mio card, which
hmm
is then again very reminiscent to the Monaco combo.
Actually, the Celine, I was about to say that this also gives a character for Celine to rest, but you don't actually need characters to rest.
Yeah, it's get the stock,
You
then
just get
rest
the stock.
characters.
Yeah, so that's part of the effect, which means if you have nothing to rest, then all you have to do is clock Celine, get stock, have no characters.
Yep.
It's interesting, I guess. All right.
That's gonna happen a lot probably.
Yeah. Hopefully, if you're running more than two of the Celine. Psychokinetic Concentration, Oshizu. It's a 0/0 vanilla in completely irrelevant traits.
Yep.
Then Wedding Dress Haruna, 1045. If you've got three or more other animal or plant characters, it gains 500 and Hand Encore. That really sucks. That's like a Bakemonogatari staple. We all know how sad Bakemonogatari is.
And its other effect is to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's animal or plant, add it to your hand.
No. With a Climax combo. With the Book
Yes, on
Climax
Climax
combo.
combo with book.
Yeah, so Book Climax combo when this attacks. If it's animal or plant trait, go to your hand. So it's a free plus, but it's on a 105k body that's probably going to die very soon. And if this is the main focus of your level 1, you're probably going to want to Encore it, which makes the Climax combo a little bit redundant. All you got is like a Soul Rush, and you probably could have done that with any other. I don't know. The 105k is what kills it for me. It's really tiny.
Yeah, it's just too small.
Mm.
It doesn't kill anything.
It gets killed by everything. That's the main
Yep.
problem, I think.
Next up
So
is
next
vanilla.
up, 117k Haruna, whatever.
Following that is another assist. I think it's 1,000 in hand encore.
Yeah, all of your animal plant traits in front of this get 1k in hand encore, which is perfectly serviceable. It's just, in that deck, the main supports you have are the 0/0 Nana and the Risa that supports your 3/2 Haruna. So you'd maybe run one of these because it doesn't seem very good. The
Yeah.
Encore is good with the level 3 Haruna because that's a card that gets bigger on your turn. But I'm not sold. I might run one. We'll see.
Yeah.
So,
And that takes us.
second to last card, I think.
Yep.
Oh, it's a 2/8k.
Oh, this card is fucking.
Yeah, it's a bit silly.
Ugh.
It's got irrelevant traits. When this attacks, if Pants is in the Climax zone, look up to two cards from the top of your library, choose one and add it to your hand, ditch the rest. Your opponent reveals his or her hand. If there are any Climax cards there, put the top card of your stock in the waiting room.
So functionally, it's look at
It's
top
a
two, add one to hand. If they have a climax, pay one.
Yeah, it's possibly free, but Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. It depends.
It's
I
not
don't think
good.
this card is, yeah, this card's bad traits and the fact that the Climax combo isn't so amazing as to warrant running it. Pants are okay, but you're not super reliant on Climax combos unless you're really high on the 1-0 Haruna. I don't know. I'm not sure I would bother with this.
I would not either.
All right, and I guess we can end on one of the better events in the set. Shiro Nakamoto, or White Cat mode. Choose one character, that character gains 2k, but wait, that's not all. Choose a character in battle, that character gains -1 soul.
Woo! It's a 2k counter for one, which makes it 500 weaker than other affected, like secondary affected
Yeah,
2-1 counters.
other French vanilla counters of this cost.
And it also has
And
minus soul.
yeah, and it's an event, so you can't salvage it, but it's a very good effect. Like, I'd run two probably, because you'd want one at some point.
Yep.
It's not quite anti-damage, but it's definitely quite good. Like, it's very clutch. The effect in Bakemonogatari is very good.
Yeah, so it's just -1 soul when you need it. And sometimes that's all you need. So,
Yeah, and so power, which is nice, I guess.
yep.
You do need blue to play it, and as we've noted, there's not a huge amount of good blue. There is just enough, though, so I think we can play this in the animal deck.
Yeah, so that takes us to the end of all the blue cards.
So, we would normally do like a little wrap-up summary here, but we're going to do that in a separate video, because we figure that's just better than having to find where the summary starts in this video. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll see you in the next video, hopefully.